Well, hello, Jennifer Eason here. I am neck deep in research, but I wanted to do a short. We've been getting together on these shorts. This is a little something for those that maybe asked too many questions in Sunday school, got on the teacher's nerves. Imagine a Sunday school teacher that humored you a bit when you asked questions like, why did Satan hate Adam and Eve so much? And the answer lies in the Genesis account. I've always been interested in the various angels and the classes of angels. There's possibly 9 classes and 3 orders, upper, middle, and lower, of the angels of heaven. The upper order being composed of the cherubim, seraphim, and thrones, priests, and the middle order composed of lords, powers, and rulers, and the lower order consisting of principalities, archangels, and angels, ministering angels. The cherubim, seraphim, and thrones, they hold a very powerful place in that they have access to the third heaven, to the actual throne room. And I like the accounts that explain that the angels, being created on the evening of the first day, they initially thought that they were self-existent until Jah said, "Let there be light." And they knew instantly, as they marveled at that creation and witnessing something so powerful, they knew at that point that they were created beings. And they praised Jah. Now back to Adam. I heard an account that Adam was created from the earth, the clay. He was created in Jerusalem. For that, the amazing residence was created, that Garden of Eden paradise, which had all of the amazing rivers that fed the world realm, the trees that are beyond anything that I can imagine, and also the animals. The animals were created, all these amazing animals to name and to have dominion and stewardship of. There were only simple requirements for Adam to reside in this garden paradise and basically to guard it and till it. And it didn't really require those things because it was so self-sufficient and beautiful, a perfect ecosystem. But this was to prevent probably the love of idleness. And also, it could be seen as an outward action of obedience to the maker, the creator, the potter, the landlord. And Jah made the garden large enough to accommodate all of Adam's progeny. Well, what are progeny without an Eve? And I actually like this account when I think about it now, that Jah knew that Adam should not be alone. So Eve was created. And we remember in Sunday school about the rib from the left side of Adam. And it's a mystery, this surgery, this creation of the Creator, the master, the potter. He didn't choose to do the same type of creation of Adam. He did something more special, more intimate, in that taking of Adam's own essence and creating his helpmate, he would recognize her because she wasn't from the earth in the sense of directly from the earth and from the clay, the dirt. She was from him. And that's very powerful. That is a mystery to really ponder. In my opinion, the way that Eve was created, when Adam woke up from this deep sleep, this creation surgery that was performed, he would know and perceive on a very deep level that he also had to have had a creator. So to have Eve come from him, and he knew that she came from him, thus knowing that they both had a creator, and to never forget it. And that would bring them into a covenant that the two of them would be bound to acknowledge their creator. Now, shifting back to the very powerful cherubim, the one that I am talking about is one that we are all familiar with. He is very infamous, and we refer to him as Satan, the devil. He became very envious, very jealous, and that took hold in his heart. And all of the angels were to worship Adam. He did not want to do it. He refused because he could not understand why he would have to bow down to this clay creation. He had a pride about him because he had so much power. He was given. He was over all of the music ministry. He had other angels that were under him that he was in charge of. And by his will, he made a decision to not obey Jah and to rebel. And this rebellion turned into an insurrection where he took 1/3 of his company of angels to rebel and to be cast down. So he lost access to the third heaven. He was stripped of his apparel, his very glorious garments, and he was casted out. So he was basically fired. It's like, somebody being fired in such a public way. So his humiliation is very great because his pride got the best of him and it changed him. And so his name changed to reflect his new station. And that's where he becomes the devil and Satan and many other names that we have learned. And it's not hard to imagine that being stripped of glory in this way and allowing all of the evil hatred to fill his entire being, that he went from beauty to an ugliness that is beyond imagination. So he would be filled with great wrath and an increased level of envy and jealousy that there's no redemption for him. There's no redemption for those 1/3 that rebelled with him. And losing the beauty, he doesn't get to keep that form, although he can transform, as well as the fallen angels that followed him have the ability to transform and to appear beautiful. But in actuality, they are not. So he quickly went into plotting and scheming against Adam and Eve and their progeny. And he knew that he would have to go through Eve, the woman. Adam and Eve, they had it made. I'm sure a lot of us would agree. And again, they were just told not to touch one tree. Just one. But they had full reign of all the other trees and fruit and all the land to till and to guard, and to not have to sweat and be a debt slave to the cabal. And I know that a lot of art will depict that the fruit that they ate of, the one that was forbidden, was an apple. How do you feel about that? I mean, some things you'll read, it'll say a fig tree. So other accounts might have other fruits, but I don't think the fruit was the issue. I think it was more so the obedience that was required. And once they became curious about things that were divine knowledge, that's where they fell. So it goes back to, if the creator of the garden and the trees that are there is asking a simple request to not mess with one tree, the one in the middle, the tree of life, it had knowledge of divine things to become a god. This is the lie that Eve was beguiled. She fell prey to wanting to know the divine knowledge. And, you know, we could debate about why would that tree be there in the first place. I know a lot of us wondered that. And I want to see what you would have to say. Why was the tree there in the first place? To tempt them. Oh my God, look at this picture. It's like, can you guys just cool it now with this fruit, okay? You were told to leave the one in the middle alone. You had every other fruit tree to choose from. This one looks like the soy version of Adam and Eve. But back to the whole issue of the beguilement of Eve. And I can relate, probably because I'm a daughter of Eve, is that knowledge or gnosis is very alluring. And it must be something about women that we are lured into knowing, getting knowledge. But the thing about this type of knowledge, we have to be ready to receive it. And that goes along with the things I was talking about, the arts, the serpentine arts, that the snake cultures, the dragon cultures promise knowledge. And this is a serpentine thing because the enemy was cast, it says, on his belly, and that he went into this serpent, which was not what we think like the snake kind of thing, but like an amazing dragon. I could imagine like Quetzalcoatl, you know, this plumed serpent or something. I don't know. But he had to come in a form that he could use charm and allure, and he could beguile and enchant. So his knowledge of ancient things, of course, and then his company of rebellious angels like Azazel that we learned about from reading the book of Enoch. Azazel taught all of these forbidden things to the sons and daughters of Adam and Eve. Azazel is the one that taught military sciences, cosmetics, and all of those beauty potions and things of that nature. All of the sexual rituals, the things that we learned about with Aleister Crowley and Jack Parsons and all of this. This comes directly from Azazel. So once the innocence was lost and knowledge was gained, knowledge without preparation to receive it. Therefore, the comprehension is not there. So what did they do when they were summoned? They hid. So they hid from Jah. And that was foolish. You can't hide from him. And they knew their shame and attempted to cover it up with the fig leaves. That might have been a little hint, huh? The fig leaves covering them. So the fruit might be a fig. You let me know what it is. I don't know. Let's just have fun with it. So yeah, the shame, the attempting to cover up, the mistake. We know that this is made into a source of contention, but Adam did, he pointed to the woman. He was like, it's that woman you gave me, you made out of me, Adam, come on, man. And their eviction happened. So we could see how the serpent, Satan, he got evicted from the third heaven. So, a hater wants you to join in with their misery. So now Adam and Eve are ejected, evicted, driven out of the most amazing place that they could have lived, where the land was so easy to bring forth everything, all their provisions. Now they are tossed into the crazy world, and the enemy will just continue to pursue them and their generations. Hence why they call it the fall of mankind. So we fell as our original parents fell, and we are currently in a fallen state, not our optimal state. As a result, the serpent was cursed by Jah. Jah stated, "Cursed art thou above all beasts upon the earth," with the cursing of the serpent, who was the tool of Satan. Satan, who had instigated the serpent, was himself cursed, and immediately his legs were destroyed, and he crawled upon his belly, and instead of being an animal, became a hissing reptile. And Jah set enmity between the serpent and man, saying, "He shall smite the heel of man, but man shall crush his head, and the food of the serpent shall be dust." And Jah said to Eve, "In pain shalt thou bring forth children." And to Adam he said, "Cursed is the ground for thy sake, and in toil and the sweat of thy face shalt thou eat thy bread. For dust thou art, and unto dust shalt thou return. And the earth, by reason of the curse which it had received, straightway brought forth thorns and thistles. And God drove them out from paradise at the 9th hour of the same day in which they were created." And as we sort out more of the narrative of human history and begin to understand more about timelines and what makes sense, one thing that believers know is that a plan of redemption has been in place from the beginning, and nothing takes Jah by surprise. So therefore, it's easy to see how this fallen cherubim has so much wrath and envy for Adam and Eve's progeny. But also, the scriptures do tell of the ultimate redemption as the children of Adam and Eve return to Jah and renew their covenants and are obedient to the Creator, to the Master Potter. And that's what this is all about. It is about obedience to a Creator and not to join a fallen angel and his doomed and damned company of fallen angels for their ultimate punishment, but not to join in with the insurrection against Jah and to come out of the system of Babylon that the fallen have inspired to be created on this earth. So we have a hope, and I want to talk about this more and more, but I just wanted to share this, and I will see you soon. Take care and blessings.